Hi everyone, it's me, Joe, again. Alright, where did we leave off? Alright, that's right, Johnny and I just broke up. So anyway, we're sitting in the kitchen, and we ended up talking, and he agreed with me we should break up, but we stayed together as friends. It's just that we couldn't be boyfriends. It's hard to explain, but we stayed together as friends. Mostly because I still loved him. And I didn't want to lose him. And, most people would probably have just cut him out of your life, but I just wasn't ready for that yet. And I used the excuse that, it would be financially better for us both if we just stayed as friends, not friends with benefits, but just plain friends. He could see his people and I could see my people. And then, as far as the sleeping condition was, I moved downstairs to the couch because I don't remember if it was a pull-out bed or not. But anyway, I slept on the couch and I said, I don't want to sleep in the same bed with you any longer. So anyway, that's the way we stayed that way up until the next move. We started talking a lot more once we became friends, which I found kind of strange that when we were boyfriends, we didn't really talk too much. We had some really nice sex, but we didn't really talk to each other that much. And I think that might have been another reason why our relationship didn't work. Because when we were friends, we would talk to one another. So anyway, we started talking about, why should we be paying rent to somebody to line their pockets when we could basically get a house? And he started talking about getting a house together, which I found kind of strange at first. I think he was basically trying to win my affection back after what he did to me. He seemed like he was trying to, how do I want to say it, sort of prove himself to me that he could be worthy to be a boyfriend again. So he started talking to me about buying a house together. And at first I found it kind of strange that he would want to, have a house together, because that's a pretty big commitment. But I went with it. Like I said, you always give him enough rope to hang himself with. So I said, okay, I'll give you a little bit more rope, and let's see where we go with this. So we started looking around for houses while we were living in Yorkville. And we started looking around for houses. And it became like a weekly thing. We got a real estate agent, and we would go online and we would check out, I think it was called realtor.com or some website that would tell you what houses were on the market at that time. And we would go to all the different areas around and see what houses were for sale. And we knew what our budget was and everything, so we would make a list of houses that we would tell our realtor that, this week we want to see this house. We'd have like 4 or 5 houses within a certain area that we would want them to take us to look at. So that went on for about a month or 2 months, I'd say. And finally we found this one house that I'm living in now. And, you know, it was an older house. It had everything that I liked about it. It had the wood trim, you know, I'm a big person. I like the older style houses with the wood trim and all that. And I fell in love with this house. So I said, this is the one. And and of course, Johnny's credit was, let's just put it this way. His credit was in the dumper because of the way he would do things. He would get a credit card, max it out, never pay. Let's put it this way. He had to file bankruptcy to get out of his debt because of how he lived his life. So anyway, the house had to be in my name. And because I had half decent credit. So when it all came down, said and done, the house was in mine and my brother's name. And Johnny wasn't even on the mortgage. But I told Johnny that I remember when my parents passed away, that there was a thing called a life estate that you could leave. You know, if you owned a home, you could leave a life estate to somebody in the case that if you passed away, that the house would go to them. If both owners of the house passed away and you had a person named as a life estate person to live in the house became, you know, theirs. So I told Johnny, I said that I would give him a life estate in the house in case either I or my brother passed away. And I said I would give him a life estate. So anyway, he was satisfied with that. I think he just wanted to move again. It was like wherever we lived, every year to 2 years, Johnny would get the itch to move. And I don't know where that came from. I don't know why he was like that, but he always had to move on. So anyway, then again, we moved into the house that I'm living in now. And of course, it is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. And, you know, like my last video, I showed you it has a nice big backyard with a detached garage. But anyway, so after all the paperwork and everything was filed and we could move into the house, that's when Johnny started to get on the internet again, and he met this guy, which, let's see, we'll call him Keith. Okay, Keith was a guy that Johnny was talking to on the internet, and I guess he was a person from California, and he wanted to move to the tri-state area here to because at the time, California, he said, he was getting involved with the gangs and the drugs and everything, and he wanted to get out of that. And he figured that if he would, you know, take himself out of the situation, that he could, you know, start anew, he could build a better life for himself. So Johnny presented that to me. He told me that he was talking to this guy Keith on the internet, and that he wanted to come here to the tri-state area, and that if it would be all right, because we did have, let's see, and of course we only had 3 bedrooms, which was one for me, one for my brother, and one for Johnny. And now he wants me to bring this other guy in, which, of course, I knew why he wanted to bring. It wasn't because he was trying to help him to better his life. He just wanted him to come and be, his new fuck buddy or his new boyfriend or whatever. So, I was like, you know what? Part of the story I wanted to be part of, but part of the story so I gave him a little bit more rope, and I said, okay, yeah, sure. No problem. So, he told this guy about, that it's all right to move in. And, Johnny met him at the airport and picked him up. And Johnny told this Keith guy that he had roommates. Okay? So him meeting me or my brother was no problem with him, even though he was kind of shy, hesitant about the idea because, he knew Johnny was gay. And I think he considered himself bi. And, he was kind of confused about what the living situation was with, Johnny being in the house with two other guys. And, so anyway, I could sense this feeling of uneasiness with him when he first came to the house. And of course, with me being the way I am, I don't like to brag or boast or anything, but I felt bad that he felt this way. So Johnny had to go to work. And so Keith was here in the house with just me and Keith. So I ended up saying, so do you drink? And he goes, oh yeah. He goes, sometimes to a fault. And I'm like, well, yeah, me too. So I had like a 6-pack of, I don't know what kind of beer in the refrigerator. And I said, so I got us a couple beers and we sat down and we started talking. And that's where I'll end this one for right now, because our conversation, let's say, was very enlightening for Keith. So, like I said, always take care of each other, stay safe, and be kind to one another. Bye.